Hi guys and welcome to an extension video. A few years ago I was addicted to grand designs and we bought a house, a family house, this family house, a detached house built in 1995 with a standalone garage and a nice substantial plot, and the dream was to turn it into this. Okay, so you can see there it was a bit ambitious to say the least. It's a substantial growth of the house. So it's a 3-story extension on the left side as we look at it, and the porch has been made huge, unnecessarily huge, which I'll learn later on. And there is a lot of work to convert that particular area structurally into being like a large bathroom. And who the hell would want a window to show the bottom level in a bathroom? I mean, even if it's frosted, you can sort of see the outline of things, can't you? But anyway, this is the vision of what we wanted to achieve, and it was ambitious to say the least. And I learned so much going through this process that I just think it's an amazing journey for us to go through as a family and grow into and learn about. And there is so much information in these videos to show you what it's like going through the journey, what's unnecessarily hard, where frustrating parts lie, how to avoid certain things, like how to find a great builder. I mean, I absolutely aced that. I got a top builder, and I'm going to do a dedicated video on that separately. So going into this, there's massive risks everywhere. You see it all over the TV, local areas, and people like that talking about how the building trade is dodgy, what can happen in the building trade. And I'm sure if you're watching this video, you've got some intent on doing an extension or just curious about it. But there are risks everywhere. It's riddled with horror stories and bad people trying to take from you. And to be honest, you do feel a bit vulnerable. You do feel a bit exposed to not knowing what you're talking about. For example, me, I'm, despite our look, quite soft-skinned really. I'm not a grafter. I'm not one of these gruffalos that drag themselves around building sites that I previously thought. And to be honest, since these extensions, my level of respect for the builders and the successful, great builders that are out there is phenomenal. A great builder is a great problem solver because problems pop up throughout this, and my respect for them has gone through the roof. But prior to this, doing the extension, we'll just dig a hole around the side, pour some concrete in, bang some blocks on, put a roof on it, and plaster it, and that's it, basically. No problems. There are problems, and it is a long process going through this that takes a little bit more patience than you might have anticipated going into it. Because you start off like with this, all the enthusiasm in the sun, yes, they'll love it. The local area will love it. The planning will love it. It'll revolutionise everything. It'll comply with the planning permission officer's sort of wishes for it to grow houses to facilitate families so they don't have to move, which is one of their bullet points, which is a sore point, to be honest with me. But never mind, we're not going to go into that. But you start off with all this enthusiasm, and then you start the planning, and it just becomes longer and longer and longer, and problem after problem after problem. And obviously, unfortunately, we had the arrival of COVID, which knocked everything for 6. But we've got through it, it's good, and we are buzzing to be sat in our family home. I mean, if you look there behind us, you can see the approved plan, so we're jumping a bit ahead of us. And some acoustic slate wall panels, which are beautiful, and sort of gives a little bit away about the ending, to be honest, but I absolutely love them. And due to the open plan nature of this house, we did have a substantial echo and noise travelling, and they have been bang on. So I'm going to go into a little bit more depth about what we've got now, pop some pictures up on the screen of sort of the layout of the house so you can understand the size and the issues and things like that. So if you look at this first picture, or this existing ground floor plan, it is called, you can see what we've got. We've got a standalone garage on the left, we've got a conservatory on the right, we've got a tiny pokey little hallway there, which is a bugbear of mine and costs a substantial amount and makes the job harder, shall we say, that, because it was a non-negotiable for me. Being such a big fella, I really wanted a grand entrance where I could welcome people in rather than them shuffle past my belly, my dad bod. Okay, so you can see the living room there, and into the tiny kitchen. And it is tiny, but guess what? That is a magical area throughout this extension when we get round to doing that side. And then upstairs, you can just see what we've got there. So we have got just a small layout, a basic layout of a new build. Well, I say new build, it was built in 1995 when they just, like, there should be some type of regulation on the size of an actual bedroom, because that bedroom number 3, I can touch every wall of it when I put my arms out, you know, like across like this. whatever, I can touch all walls, and that, to me, that's a bit wrong, that, and they shouldn't have been allowed to do that. So bedroom number one there, to the side of that, you can see that it's got an actual ensuite, which also poses a problem. You can see that little window, I don't know why it's not drawn in, but there's a little ensuite there with a waste pipe going down into the side of what is there, the conservatory. So how close will I get to achieving that from the property that I've just shown you? I just quickly pop in here my plot plan of what is to happen. So you can see that's my plot plan. It's quite strange, and that's why we bought it, because it's a decent plot of land. Not massive, but a decent plot of land, allowing us to grow the house in this particular fashion. But it has its own problems, because it's not got a back garden, it's got a side garden. So hopefully the coming videos will be able to shed some light on sort of like, from a naive, non-building trade, non-exposed to Gruffalo sort of non-exposed to Gruffalo sort of builders, dealing with them, dealing with the other contractors that are involved, such as electricians, plumbers, building inspectors, concrete delivery drivers, everything that goes in basically involved. I know that I've probably missed out about quite a few people there, but dealing with all these different types of people throughout this process and how to optimize this. Looking back on it, if I was to advise myself right at the start of things to consider and things, definitely areas to avoid. I mean, in the next video, I'm going to be talking about architects and getting everything sorted. And that was where I made my biggest mistake. And I regret it to this day. And I should have gone with my gut, but I didn't. And I ended up using, well, without going too far into it, I ended up employing 2 architects rather than 1. Another point is, throughout these videos, obviously there's a lot of people involved in these videos, and a lot of companies and a lot of businesses involved in this. Now, if I recommend anyone, they'll be in the link below, okay? In the description, that's where you'll find the link. Hopefully there might be some discount codes, but there also is some people that don't want to be included in this video. Like, for instance, the builder, the main builder. He's happy with his workflow. He does a good job. He's a local lad. He's just plodding on, and he has no aspiration for growth. So he doesn't really want to be included in the videos, and so there may not be a link there, but I hope that changes after he watches the videos. I hope that he decides, actually, I can contribute positively to people that want to extend the house, because the guy is an amazing fella and can offer people that are like in my position or anyone looking to extend so much more. And I hope that he does eventually get a link in there to help you guys get sort of the dream house that we've managed to achieve by using him, because it is, like I say, a minefield. And I did hear some horrible horror stories, and I heard some as I was going through, actually, about what happened to somebody quite local to this area. Okay, so on that bombshell, how close to this when the architects and the planning officers and the planning permission have finished? Okay, and to be honest, it's not actually that far from that, but some of the eagle-eyed viewers may have spotted a few things that need to change. Okay, so on to the next one.